Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Watermelon Movies. Disney makes magical, whimsical movies that have captured the imagination of children and adults alike for generations. But as much as they're on top of the game for bringing wonders to the world, they also have the best at just totally and completely destroying your emotions. Fair enough. After all, without the hardship and suffering of life's worst moments, we'll never be able to appreciate the beauty and wonders of its best. Life is composed of lights and shadows, Walt Disney famously said, and we would be untruthful, insincere, and saccharine if we tried to pretend that there are no shadows. And boy do Disney storytellers love offsetting their moments of brilliant lights with darkness. There's no shortage of damaging Disney moments, and these are just a few personal favorites. Maybe least favorite would be more appropriate given the emotional toll. So sound off in the comments with the moments that messed you up the most. Obviously, there's a lot of spoilers here, so be careful. Number 5. Do you want to build a snowman? From Frozen. Frozen wastes no time getting right to its messy emotional center. From the moment we see Anna and Elsa playing together as children, there's a sense of melancholy that hangs over the film. Elsa's gift, or cursed, with magical Snow Queen powers, just wants to have fun with her little sister, but it's almost cost the younger girl's life. From then on, Elsa locks herself away in her room, and with the fantastical, catchy, and gorgeously animated "Do you want to build a snowman?" sequence, we watch the sisters grow farther and farther apart over the years as Elsa's powers became more dangerous with each passing day. In just a few brief minutes, Frozen packs in a lot of heartbreak. Anna, who's lonely and desperate to play with her big sister, Elsa, who utterly isolated and terrified of what she can do, and their parents, who try their best to cope with a daughter they can't understand. And then the parents die. This is only one brief song, and it's just a shattering way to start your movie. From a narrative perspective, it's also a damn impressive way to communicate years of strained family relationship and catch the audience up to the action of the film. But above all, it's just sad as hell. Number 4. Bye Bing Bong from Inside Out. Say goodbye to your innocence and imagination, kids, because adulthood comes for us all. The loss of innocence underscores a lot of the saddest moments in Disney's storytelling playbook, but it's rarely been so endearing and heartbreaking as the moment Bing Bong appears in Inside Out. Set inside the mind of an 11-year-old girl experiencing a major life change, Inside Out follows her embodiment emotions as they try to help her cope with the new changes. But the most magical and whimsical of them all is Bing Bong, her imaginary friend, who found himself in a bit underloved in recent years as the young girl grew older. When his adventures with Joy drops them in the memory pit, threatening Riley's happiness forever, Bing Bong sacrifices himself to be erased from her mind in order to save Joy. "Take her to the moon for me," he tells Joy with a sad but proud expression. And suddenly, everyone watching the movie is crying. I have a very fond memories of seeing this one as an advanced press screening packed with professionals trying not to cry. And suddenly, everyone in the theater came down with the darnest case of coughing and sniffles. No matter how old you get, you'll always miss your childhood sense of wonder and creativity, which brings watching Bing Bong fade into non-existence a poignant, relatable moment of sadness. After all, we all have to grow up and face reality, but we don't have to like it. Number 3. Remember Me from Coco. Any movie that traffics so heavily in themes of death and legacy is bound to have a few tear-jerking moments. But Coco really taps into your waterworks by sidestepping mawkishness and simple sentimentality in favor of rousing, colorful adventures that slowly warms your heart before breaking it wide open. But unlike a lot of Disney's most devastating moments, Coco's big cry comes courtesy of a loving, beautiful moment that's infinitely more happy than it is sad. When the spirit of young Miguel dreams of becoming a musician, ending his family's generation-long ban of music, his adventures bring him to the land of the dead, where he connects with his ancestors and discovers the truth that broke his family's heart. But with the acknowledgement that comes with the power to right the wrongs from the past, and when he returns to the world of the living, he comes back with the song "Remember Me." Singing to his dementia-stricken great-grandmother, he unlocks the memory of their father and brings her the peace she's been missing her whole life, at the same time allowing his great-great-grandfather's soul to live in the land of the dead. It's beautiful, and if you can't get through this scene without at least verging on ugly crying, I have some concerns. Number 2. Ellie and Carl from Up. Are you kidding me? This shouldn't even be allowed. In less than 10 minutes, Pixar's Up takes us through a great love story and a heartbreaking loss from the story of Ellie and Carl. Friends since childhood, the duo remains inseparable through life and marriage. The pep in Ellie's step giving Carl joy is the whole way through. Hungry for adventures, Ellie's enthusiasm is contagious, and their love story is elegantly telegraphed to the audience through a series of brief vignettes. But their happiness is matched with moments of sadness, including the realization that they can never have children, and of course, Ellie's crushing death. Ellie the adventurer dies without making her dreams come true and seeing the world, a heartbreaking truth that spurs the movie to come and help turn the curmudgeonly Carl into an instant empathetic character. It's beautiful and devastating every single time, and one of the most effective 10 minutes of emotional storytelling in the history of the animated medium. Number 1. Mufasas' death from The Lion King. Parents die. It's a natural order, you could say. It's the circle of life. If Disney films have taught us anything of value, it's that life and adventure continues even after grief, and that often your first true moment of grief will be the loss of your mother or father. The Lion King does a great job teaching that valuable lesson. But first, it's absolutely shattering your heart when the nefarious Scar sends his brother King Mufasa falling to his death in a stampede. But first, the Lion Kid lets you get to know Mufasa first, and you absolutely fall in love with him. He's a great king and even a better father. The kind of parents we all be so lucky to have, which makes it 100 times worse when he dies. But Disney storytellings are never ones to hold back when they can really wreck you. Instead, they full on devastate you by having the young Simba run up to his father's still warm corpse and nuzzle him while he pleads for his father to come back. It's been almost 24 years since The Lion King came out, and I'm still traumatized by the sound of little Simba crying, "You gotta get up." There's no way around it. This one messed up a whole generation of moviegoers, and there's a reason why it's considered one of the most iconic movie death scenes of all time, and why it tops this list. If you liked this video, consider liking, and if you loved it, you can subscribe for more entertaining content just like this. Ring the bell to know exactly when we upload the videos you love so much. Alrighty, stay safe. Alrighty,